Yes, we are back with our good pal Santa Claus right here that moves. I know, how exciting. Anyways, what's also exciting are the Cleveland Cavaliers in episode number 177. Oh, ye gods. Can't believe it. But anyways, let's look at those Cavaliers right there. Team stats including points per game, which is at 110.9. Rebounds per game, 43.1. Assists per game at 23.4. Steals per game, 6.5. Blocks per game, 4.3. And those Cavs have surrendered 105.1 points per game, which leads the NBA, I believe, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. How about that from those Cavs of ours that we know and love? And now time to look at the game recaps because we can. Cavs against the Kings. That resulted in a Cleveland Cavaliers loss, 106-95. Karis LeVert, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Darius Garland, 18 points. Harrison Barnes, 20 points for Sacramento. Domantas Sabonis with 18 points and 18 rebounds. Start off well for the good old Cavs, but yeah, as you can tell right there in the bottom right corner of your screen, they ultimately lost, and lost a tough one, being outscored 19-0 to close out the game. It was that frustrating, of course, without Donovan Mitchell that day, and for the game you're seeing on your screen, which we'll get to in a bit, and the Cavs held an 8-point lead in the fourth quarter. But meanwhile, when the Cavs played the Thunder, fortunately, things ended up being a little better. 110-102 victory. Karis LeVert, 22 points. Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen had 21 points each. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 23 points. Josh Giddey, 17 points, 13 rebounds. And get this, Oklahoma City was never winning once during the entire game. As you can tell right there, they had it to a one-point game, but they were never winning once, which is very hard to believe. They played hard, they worked hard out there, got it to one point numerous times, but couldn't get the lead once during the contest, which is good because we love to see the Cavs win. And each team collected 25 rebounds. Then last night, the Cavs at the Spurs, which was a tough loss, 112-111. Donovan Mitchell returned to the floor, garnishing 28 points. Karis LeVert, of course, he wanted to have a good game as well because he scored 23 points off the bench. And Darius Garland had 18 points as well. Josh Richardson, 24 points, 5 threes off the bench. Keldon Johnson, 21 points. Cavs almost came back from a 19-point deficit. I believe Darius Garland had a wide-open look for a corner three and missed it. In fact, they had so many opportunities to take the lead against the Spurs. The Spurs, for gosh sake, and couldn't do it. Spurs had 2 more rebounds than the Cavaliers, which was rather frustrating to see, especially when you note that the Spurs are 9-18 now. Oh, ye gods, they're one of the worst teams in the league. Looking at it, they are the 5th worst team in the league, behind Houston, Orlando, Charlotte, and Detroit. The fact that a Cavs team with that much potential and talent will lose to the Spurs is frustrating. But it's not time to panic yet because they're 3rd in the Eastern Conference, 4 games out for the top-seeded Boston Celtics, and 3 games out for the division lead against Milwaukee. All right, time to go to Tommy's picks because it's always fun whenever I do my picks. First things first, high school girls basketball. Highland took down Talmadge 56-42. They also beat Westlake 46-36 last night, which is a good thing for us because that means we're on a 2-game winning streak. What are we now? I think 4-2, which is not the worst in the world, but considering where we were last year and considering the fact that we have Copley again and have Medina Monday, it doesn't seem to be that as good as you'd expect, but still very respectable to say the least. Westlake beat North Olmsted. Speaking of the Demons, they won 59-28. Brunswick beat Mentor 69-55. Medina took down Strongsville 54-37. Amherst Steel beat North Ridgeville 49-30. Olmsted Falls beat the Hoban Knights 70-63. Keystone took down Northwestern 55-33. Elyria Catholic beat Fairview 58-24. And Rocky River beat Bay 46-26. Of course, Olmsted Falls was my upset of the week over the Knights. And my lock of the week, the Revere Minutemen edged out a 3-point win over the Cuyahoga Falls Cuyahoga Falls Black Tigers. Why did I say Bulldogs? I don't know. Oh boy, probably because I was confused it with Olmsted Falls Bulldogs. That's why. 43-40. Hudson beat Twinsburg 41-29, and Normandy beat Holy Name 57-20 in a blowout. Now for high school boys basketball. Highland took down Talmadge in our first American Conference game. It was a convincing 67-50 victory. And we play Barberton tonight at Barberton, which is going to be a good one. Barberton looking for their first win of the season. We are 2-1 in boys basketball. Of course, the girls are, 4-2 as previously mentioned in the show today. Avon took down Elyria 66-46. Rocky River beat North Olmsted 51-48. Westlake beat Fairview 68-54. North Ridgeville beat Olmsted Falls 62-56. Walsh Jesuit took down Gilmore Academy 68-56. Lutheran West beat St. Ignatius 74-54. That was my upset. I did not get it right. St. Ed's took down St. John's Jesuit 60-50. Now that was my lock of the week. Archbishop Hoban took down Liberty 81-40. Holy Name edges out a win over Lake Catholic 67-64. Buckdole takes down Firestone with ease 87-44. And Roosevelt beat Barberton 55-35. Now time to move on to the NFL. How about Baker Mayfield? He rallies from 13 points down and comes back to beat the Raiders as the Raiders choke away another lead. My God, they are not good, those Raiders. But Josh Jacobs is, and that's a good thing because he's on my fantasy team. 17-16 was found there. Bills beat the Jets in a rather forgettable game, 20-12. The Bills are still in the lead of the division, and considering the fact that Miami lost, which we'll get to in a bit, they now have a commanding lead in that AFC East late in the season. The Bengals beat the Browns. The season's over. Wrap it up. Why on earth are the Browns still playing? They are horrible. They suck. It's not surprising. Bad coaching out there. 4th and 1. Why in the good name of goodness would you put in Jacoby Brissett to throw it deep? Put Jacoby in there to sneak it up the middle. I like Jacoby Brissett. He's a good quarterback. He wasn't the reason why the Browns were losing most of the games, but instead they had to throw in the other guy, Deshaun Watson, and I thought to myself, why? He hasn't played in 2 years, and he's been rusty, super rusty. His lone touchdown came in garbage time. It's rather frustrating to see. I, for one, can't stand it. The season's over. Wrap it up. No chance they make the playoffs. And, of course, the Browns are absolutely dead meat now. Well, that's the life of a Browns fan. Well, it could be worse. Could be Cowboys fans. I mean, they almost lost to Houston. 27-23. Good Lord. They had to come back. Dak Prescott had to go on a very long drive for a game-winning touchdown. And neither quarterback for Houston, both Davis Mills and the other guy, Jeff Driscoll, couldn't do a thing. They just had to make sure it was Jeff Driscoll. How about those Lions? They're not done yet. They took down the Vikings 34-23. The Detroit Lions have been on a tear lately, which is a little surprising because, well, they're the Detroit Lions. They typically suck every week, but nope. Their season has been completely resuscitated and revived, thanks to Dan Campbell and that high-octane offense, which is very interesting to see. Let me pull up what the Lions have been doing lately. Looking at them, if I can find their schedule right there. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games. I mean, most of them haven't been pretty wins, but a win's a win. They almost beat Miami as well. They almost beat Buffalo. Good Lord. It could quite easily be a 7-game winning streak for those Lions. Eagles clinched their spot in the playoffs. 48-22 win over the Giants. Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14. And the Titans lost to Sucksonville. Either that the Jaguars are no longer becoming Sucksonville, or the AFC South is weak, or the Jaguars are mediocre, or all of the above. Because Good Lord is right. 36-22. Sucksonville takes down the Titans. And the Broncos almost made a comeback. 34-28 loss after being down 27-0. Broncos country, let's ride. More like Broncos country, let's die. If you recall, back in 2019, I called Miami Free Willie's dead brother. Well, if Miami was Free Willie's dead brother, the Denver Broncos are the Magic School Bus's lost episode. That is right. Panthers beat the Seahawks. Seahawks are falling back to earth, 30-24. How about the 49ers? They are just undermanned. They are shorthanded, and they still find ways to win against the horrible Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the horrible Tom Brady this season, 35-7. How about Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant? And now Debo's hurt, and that really hurts my chances of winning my fantasy championship for the 2nd year in a row, which I really hope happens, but I doubt. But it's fun to dream. Chargers took down Free Willie 23-17 on Sunday night. Patriots beat the Cardinals 27-13. Cardinals season is over because Kyler Murray is done with. Yes, the Magic School Bus. Yep, that was the Denver Broncos the Denver Broncos are indeed the Magic School Bus's lost episode. In girls basketball, went 10-2 with 12 points. Boys basketball 9-3, 10 points. NFL horrible 6-7 with 7 points. Tommy's picks right there on your screen, folks. Highland will beat Roosevelt. Brunswick should beat Lakewood. I got McKinley playing Magnificat. This is high school girls basketball, by the way. I am picking Magnificat. My lock of the week, St. Vincent St. Mary, going to beat Garfield. Gilmore Academy will beat Brush. Here's an upset, folks. Archbishop Hall been off to a bit of a rocky start, 3-3 so far in the season. I think they can improve to 4-3 with a win over Walsh Jesuit. Perry against Green, I'm picking the Green Bulldogs. And then Euclid against Strongsville, I am picking the Euclid Panthers. North Ridgeville against Avon, picking the Avon Eagles. Midview Middies against the Avon Lake Shoremen, picking Midview to win that. And then Revere playing Barberton. I got the Magics winning it. And North Royalton against Stowe, picking Stowe because Stowe is really good this season. Now it's time for boys basketball. Highland against Roosevelt, picking Highland. North Royalton against Stowe, I am picking Stowe. Strongsville plays Lakewood, should be a good one. I'm picking Strongsville. Brunswick against Medina. Medina is on a roll, so is Brunswick. Should be a good one, but I think Medina is going to steal that one on the road. Mentor against Solon, picking Mentor. VASJ against St. Ignatius, I'm picking the Wildcats. Benedictine against Lake Catholic, picking Benedictine. Campfield against Ursuline, out near Youngstown. Lock of the week right here. Give me the Fighting Irish of Ursuline. And then Austintown Fitch playing Washington. I got an upset right here. Massillon and Washington should win it. Brecksville against Hudson. Brecksville, one of the best schools in Northeast Ohio. I'm picking Brecksville. Madison against Mayfield, picking Mayfield. And Chardon should beat South. Now time for the NFL. Seahawks play the 49ers. I'm picking Brock Purdy and the 49ers. And then a Saturday tripleheader. Why are the Browns on the Saturday tripleheader? Same reason why the Colts are on the Saturday tripleheader. Good question. Vikings against the Colts. Vikings should stomp all over Indy. Ravens against the Browns. I am picking the Ravens because us Browns fans can't have anything good in life. No, sir. Bills against Free Willy. I'm telling you, Free Willy's starting to fall off a little bit now. They lost to San Francisco. They lost to Los Angeles. I think they're going to lose to Buffalo out here. Saints against the Falcons in Tank Division. I would call it Tank Bowl, but nope. They might make a playoff spot. I'm picking the Saints. Panthers against the Steelers. The Steelers are trying to dodge what would be Mike Tomlin's first losing season ever as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they will be able to move up to 6-8 with a win. Seabears against the Eagles. You're telling me that's a game Eagles are just going to beat the tar out of them. Same thing with the Chiefs over the Houston Texans. And then Sucksonville, I think, will have an upset over the Cowboys because the Cowboys played really bad against those Texans last week.
And they're no longer the Lowell Lions.
No, they are not the Lowell Lions anymore because they're winning. They're going to make it 6 out of 7. They're going to beat the Jets. I mean, if they beat the Vikings in thorough and convincing fashion, if they almost beat the Bills, if they almost beat the Dolphins, if they've had so many close losses this season, I can see them being the Jets. 2 big surprises this season. Jets and Lions, they might end up with 7-7 records, I believe, after the end of Sunday, which is very hard to believe. Broncos country, let's die against the Cardinals. Dear God, you know what that means, folks. That's right. The most exciting time ever. Let me pull it up, folks. I got it. It is Tank Bowl. That's right. Broncos country, let's die. Playing the Arizona Cardinals. Someone's got to win that game. Colt McCoy, yes. Colt McCoy against... Is Russell Wilson playing? I don't know. Yeah, he's absolutely horrible. Picking the Cardinals. Then the Raiders against the Patriots. Picking those Patriots to win that. Chargers against the Titans. Picking the Chargers, which means that the Titans will hold onto that division lead despite being 7-7. Tom Brady sucks. We all know that this season. He gave up his marriage just to play pretty bad this season. Against the Bengals, that's not going to be a game. Bengals should run away with it. Commies against the Giants Sunday night. Who would have thunk at the beginning of the season that would have been a good game? Both teams played pretty well against each other the last time they faced off, resulting in a tie because why on earth are there ties in football? Good question. Guess we'll never understand why. And the Commies, I think, will beat the Giants. And don't worry, folks. There's Tank Bowl Part 2 this week. Rams, Packers. I am here for the Tank Bowl. I'm so used to the Rams and Packers winning every week. This year, they have been playing really terrible. Someone's got to win that. I think Baker Mayfield's going to lead the Rams to a win. My goodness. The NFL has been absolutely crazy this year. But then again, when's the NFL not crazy? My God. Absolute just insanity going on in the NFL this year. And, well, it's almost Christmas time or the holiday season. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And from Santa and I, will hopefully see you next week. Take care, everybody. So long.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.